Howdy.
Hey guys, back in the action a little late.
Some of us were on time.
Yeah, Jamie.
Sorry, man.
That's okay. Me and the Roach took care of it. Action is on Matt, and he's refusing to show his cards. A lot of players make that mistake, not Matt. Carlos has the Jack-4 and wins the pot. He's playing a little game right now with his cards.
Tournament dealers for the 100K guarantee, please.
Maybe I said there was a fold before there was, but Matt got a Matt flop.
Switch to a purple deck. Bubble 11, 2, 8, 16. 2, 8,
Nice hand, Matt.
Next hand. Please switch to the purple deck.
Z sends me a text, and I'm doing a good job. Thank you, Z.
There are all these people you're making up.
I'm just using letters now. If everyone knew how to use Twitch, I'd have proof.
We have a question here for the commentators from @HighRollerRadio. Who would your ideal play-by-play team be to listen to? What combo?
I would choose this 3 at the moment.
Easy answer.
Matt with 80 bigs looks at his cards, and he's going to open. His arm doesn't get tired. I asked him. He said from playing hockey all the time, his forearm's strong enough to raise for a whole 4 days.
That's what it's strong from. I made a Cold Stone joke.
You made an innuendo.
Oh my God, Alan Berry. Alan Berry, I love him because he's just funny enough for how insanely mean he is. I don't know. You want to read that one, Alex? No, probably not.
By the way, Shaggy on Long Island sent something on Twitch, and we're trying to find it to read.
Alan Barry said. Actually, I'm going to refrain.
Yeah, that might be a little too mean.
I did
but
laugh,
anyone
though.
who follows Alan Berry,
Alan Berry. This one.
Yeah.
Actually, Alan told me I'm one of the only people he doesn't negative sweat a few years ago, and I felt very honored by that.
It doesn't do very much if you negative sweat everyone. Because then,
makes it feel real good for the people he positive sweats,
I
though.
guess so. I love Alan Berry.
He said I'm on the short list.
Alan Berry actually is kind of getting out of poker to start Hudson Table, which is a cooking class in Hoboken.
Looks awesome, actually.
So good for him.
It does. You get to go there and cook your own meal, learn how to eat. Sounds like fun. Carlos with the ace-queen off.
Whoa, there's some stuff falling down in the Borgata. We're hearing some destruction. If you guys are interested in playing at home while you're watching this, the NJ Cop 6 25K guarantee, $50 rebuy is starting in only 14 minutes. It's having some sound issues out there, it looks like, but hop online so you could play and watch at the same time.
By the way, the outdoor concert's also going to have 311, Darryl Ruckus, and Willie Nelson and family playing. Willie's always a fun person to watch play. There'll be a lot of smoke in the arena that day.
Not familiar with Darius Rucker. But he's with Cassidy Pope, so.
Pretty sure he's a DJ. Asha with the suited Dolly Parton.
That's 9-5 for those of you under the age of 30.
That was a good movie. 9 to 5? Working 9 to 5. Come on.
I know the reference, but I've not seen the movie.
Because you're so young.
Because
I know.
I was
Keep
born
rubbing
in
it in, Alex.
1989.
Jeez.
It's nice to do live stream commentary with my aunt and uncle.
I hope you have a cool aunt and uncle. Carlos has a king-8. They're playing 3-handed. He's thinking about what to do. He's got Asher in the hand. And he folds. Asher can easily have an ace there also, but either way.
This is a very fast-moving final table compared to the other streams we've done. We lost 3 people. They just said this is hand number 30. So in 30 hands, they lost 3 people. It's pretty incredible.
All three of the players definitely have something to do after this event, so they don't want to waste the whole day.
They had a hot date. It's like, I got to get these chips in the middle. Pick up my woman.
A hot date with some Coronas, it seems.
Yeah, look, I saw Steve just now on the break. He looked pretty happy. He had his whole posse there, probably on their way to get some drinks.
Yeah, and I saw Alan out there, not Alan, Gary out there. Gary looked a little somber. He was questioning the 8-2 push, and he explained why he did it, and it was very valid. He knew that he can only be called with a few hands, and somehow Steve made the call.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe Alan Kessler's opening himself up to this, but this is amazing. He says he's played every Borgata event since they've opened and never won one. Like, that's the measure of a good player. Like, you've played 100 events and didn't win one, but he's made like 3 million in live earnings about Stout. You can't, I don't know. If you understand variance at all, you can't hold not winning an event against someone.
No, you
It's like
can't.
losing flips.
Well, I thought Alan did min cash 92% of those events.
Oh, man.
Alan was the min cash, the biggest min casher for a while.
I think I'm probably in that spot now.
It's not a bad spot if
You're
you
quite
double
good
your
as well.
money. If you double your money every event, it's not so bad, but you still need talent to get there, and Alan and you apparently have it.
And remarkable chemistry.
Yes.
But that's for another time.
Yes. We're going to stay PG. And Matt, I'm sure, wishes he made a bet looking at all the overs on the board. Asha scoops another one and takes the chip lead away from Matt.
The always pleasant Bob Brady says, "You're doing a great job, guys and young lady." I feel like Bob Brady and Nancy are two of the most positive, like, nice human beings on earth.
Bob Brady is pretty good. Yeah, they're
They're just
definitely both
good
awesome.
luck to everyone all the time.
Yes.
When I see Bob and Nancy, I know I'm at Parks and I know I'm home. I'm feeling good. And Frank, too. Frank's very positive. Frank Dre out of there, and he has a great little blog. He put some articles on. Parks has a lot of good characters in there, and they're meshing with the Borgata characters. Carlos with the King 8's probably the best hand he's seen today. Asher with the 8 deuce is just giving Matt his chips.
Matt with the John 6. It's a walk in the big blind.
Oh, Frank just said he's watching, and we're doing a good job chatting up the action. Thanks, Frank. And Bob. Matt is over $3 million in live earnings and over 3.7 in live and online earnings. He's had some great WSOPs like their listing, especially last year. And he does do a lot of charity work, something that is very good for the young players to see happening. And by the way, the drinkers are all busted off the table, so if that's any message to the youth, don't drink and play poker.
Did you hear that, Dan Buskin?
He's not the youth of poker. Stop it. Buzz is the angry old man yelling at clouds.
Isn't Buzz my age?
No, I don't think so.
I think he's much older than you.
He looks and seems it.
Oh man.
Just kidding, Buzz. Me and Buzz do chest pumps during min cashes, so he can't be that old if it gets up to my chest. Kind of curious what type of deal talk was going on at the table.
Yeah, you have 3 capable players left, and I think that's breeding grounds for a deal a lot of the time. Usually they out, like, you know, when you're 5-handed and there's a couple of people who you think have a weaker game, they're not going to be able to even know, like, push folds. You have a huge advantage. You kind of wait till you outlast, and then when you're sort of on the same level, you start talking.
I think they all would like to get a little bit. He lives in Long Beach, not Oceanside, guys. Get that corrected, please.
It's very important. Wow. There's some sound issues out there. I hope you guys aren't getting that, because we're kind of going
We
deaf.
are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't hear anything, guys. Carlos once again with a super premium hand, gets the Jack 6. Just been a day of mediocre cards for him. But he has his composure and his will and his Long Beach hat.
I'm just happy. If nothing else good comes from this live stream, we've initiated an Alan Kessler and Alan Barry Twitter fight, and I have something to do for the rest of the day now.
Awesome.
This clearly isn't their first Twitter fight. Their last one ended with some, well, I don't even want to go into it, but I think
Alan on Alan violence.
Alan kind of got a couple of good jabs in on Alan at the end to put Alan down. Guys, please fight above the belt there and stuff like that if possible. Now, this could be a rumor, but I heard that there was a chop where Carlos is getting 125, Asher's getting 130, Stout's getting 135, and they're just playing for 20K. That's from Jerry Callahan, who's next to the table, but again, that's just a rumor, guys.
They're just playing for 20K. Who even cares? Just get the chips in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you also want the trophy. If
I was kidding. 20K is a lot.
Not when you just picked up 105, Jamie, but yes, it is. And the trophy.
Al Riccobono requested a shout out to him and Dave Zeitlin playing at Ugly Tuna's home game and watching our stream.
Shout out to Dave.
Thanks for watching, guys. I feel like there's probably a lot of New York people watching today because all the guys left are New Yorkers.
That's how we roll, Jamie. They look very composed, and they look like they're having a great time at the table, which leads me to believe a chop has been done. That's what I do. I look for tells after the fact. I could tell when a guy folded the best hand, too, by the way he reacts.
So what you're seeing right now, RIMAXinc.com is sponsoring this live stream for Borgata. Just want to read that. It's pretty cool to be getting outside sponsorship because for a little while in poker it wasn't really happening. So very special thank you to RIMAX.
Definitely.
RIMAX Marketing Service is the leader in providing player and employee loyalty solutions to the gaming industry. RIMAX's award-winning programs and events are proven to engage, motivate, and reward, as well as create loyalty with an element of fun. Visit RIMAXinc.com. I think it's just important to promote our sponsors because it's a big deal to, I don't know, poker's on the come up again, I feel like. For a while, people weren't wanting to sponsor poker events, and I feel like it's, as it's getting regulated in certain states, it's a little more legitimate. It's not so, like, underground, and I think it's a good thing to get some sponsors. I think it's a sign of things to come.
It's very important. Unfortunately, poker got slightly tarnished with what had gone on with the online problems, and apparently corporations were looking at it like it wasn't something that they wanted to get involved with from the ethics standpoint, but it is a sport, not much different than golf, except you have to have...
We have Carlos picking back up the action here. We have Carlos open the button with pocket eights and Asher 3-bet the small blind. We do not know his hole cards yet, but Carlos flatted the 3-bet and they were on ace 7-6.
Once again, trying to figure out the rumors. Someone said it's 125 chop each, playing for the rest. Somebody said it was 3 different tiers. So hopefully we'll hear a little bit better about that from outside.
Wow. So Ash bets 1.2 million on this flop, and it looks like Carlos has raised.
Oh, ouch. Oh, cold stone. I think he unplugged that. Can you hear me or no?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you. You might want to just grab his for now or something. Well, I'm on my own for a little bit. I think this is the time that's perfect for me to talk a bunch of trash about Alex Rocha and Cold Stone because they just ruined their microphones. So if anyone wants to tweet in with terrible stories of things they've done, I'll gladly read them.
Let's talk about his hand. He just raised eights. Check, check.
All right, I hear you. Should we, can you cut Cold Stones for now since that was his, right? Talk to me. No, you turned his off. Do it again.
I was 3.
Yeah, but now I hear you. You're on 3 now.
Oh.
You turned off the wrong one.
Gotcha. Looked like Carlos raised this flop and got called by Ash. We don't don't get to see Ash's hand. Carlos shoved the 9 turn.
I guess some of the play right now is going to be a little different than normal play since the deal has been made.
Interesting to see Ash's hand there if he was totally empty, which I'm assuming he was.
Well, he bet called the flop. He couldn't have been completely empty.
He could have been on a draw. I'm saying on the turn.
Oh.
So the chop is official, guys.
He could be completely empty. Have you ever heard of floating? Oh, we don't want to talk about floating on here.
So the chop is Matt Stout gets 140,000, Asher gets 130,000, Carlos gets 120,000, and they're going to play for 20,000 right now. Congratulations, all 3 years. That's a great payday. And back to the action.
It's nice to hear my buddy Ash with a nice score.
Yeah, he's 2 rooms
Congrats,
over
Ash.
from me, so hopefully I'll be able to go over there for Heinekens.
Is that what you guys call them these days?
I like how
Could be
you're
Corona
just
instead.
you're in it for beer equity.
Well, I don't have a piece.
Yeah.
Dow Rucker is from Boothie and the Blowfish, you dopes. LOL. And Cassidy Pope is a singer-songwriter. LOL. No DJ. Thank you, Mikey Ranzuti.
So much laughing out loud. Do you think they're really laughing out loud or just typing that?
Is that what LOL means? I always thought it meant something else. Calls with the ace, king of spades. Finally getting some premium hands.
Alan Kessler trying to needle me on Twitter.
Is he really? What did he say?
He said to ask me about about mine and his Foxwoods Saver on their last circuit main event. Five-handed in a Foxwoods circuit event. Me and Alan were both the short stacks five-handed. He asked me if I would like to swap with him. I politely declined and turned him down. He responded by eliminating me from the tournament and then going on to win the tournament.
And I'm sure if you run that 10,000 times, the same thing will happen every time, right?
Yes,
so you made a really terrible decision. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes.
We got Asher with the queen, 8, making a decision about Matt's raise. Matt's still picking up good hands. But at this point, who cares?
God, that reminds me, what movie? Was that Major League? Where they're announcing for the Indians game and no one's listening and the one guy's just sitting there getting really drunk the whole time and the other guy just goes, he curses like 8 times and goes, no one's even listening. Are you at that oil level, Cold Stone?
Well, you know, the deal was made, so all three of them
So now you're over it?
Not me. I'm just saying the pressure from the players and the spot where you might say, I'm going to try to build equity and move up another spot, stay away from Matt. At this point, there's no reason. Everybody's pretty much guaranteed plenty of money, and you can play poker more relaxed.
Playing a 3-handed sit and go for a $20,000 prize would make me very excited.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not exciting. I'm saying they're very excited because they locked up 120 to 140, and now it just comes down to they're not going to play bad, but where somebody might not take a stand, it's not a financial decision.
Surprised to see Matt Stout fold ace-jack there to 1-bet. He opened the button with ace-jack. Ash defended the big blind and donked 6-4-3 rainbow. Would have expected to see a call.
Well, I think Matt just took a picture of the check and sent it to his bank account, so he didn't have a chance to play that hand. He was busy doing finances. All three players said they love playing at the Borgata. Kind of feel like it's their home court. Well, and Carlos, especially this event.
Shout out to one of Alan Kessler's favorite dealers, Teresa.
Is that who's dealing right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is Teresa the one that's in the running for Dealer of the Year?
I don't follow that race closely.
It's the first time they're doing it.
I got a lot of money on that.
I don't know. Are you being serious?
No.
Oh.
Wow. Bad read. Bad read, Roche.
That was really good, Roche. Roche jumped for the dryness. Once again, I can't be happy for these three people. Three of my better friends that were in it. I love Steve, too. But Steve came in a short stack. People were asking me who I wanted to win. I said it's kind of tough with three friends in there, so I'm just going to watch like a fan.
There you go.
Sorry we didn't get as many interviews as we wanted in. The bus was so fast that we really couldn't get a hold of the people before they busted.
I think I'm just going to be scooping up the winner for a quick interview later.
And somebody will have to talk to the loser. It's nice that after this tournament, I'm sure all three of them are going to be extremely happy. It's kind of weird the way the mind works, that even if you win a lot of money and come in second, for some reason you feel a little sour until somebody smacks you in the head once or twice. But I'm sure all three of them are winners and will feel like winners regardless of how this ends. Hi, Asher.
Ash with the update that he's going to go pee. Thank you, Ash. Appreciate you.
I just have a read on him right now.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
looked
think
pretty
he's
happy.
peeing. I think he's actually going to sit down in the bathroom.
I thought you were going to.
I don't make mistakes, honey. Except for maybe calling a girl honey.
Yep.
Don't you dare do that.
Here come the women things. Honey, what would you call Alex honey? Yes, I would.
You would.
You
It's
actually
fine.
would call me. You have called me.
I
honey.
have.
Honey and Babe, actually. I get Babe more often than Honey.
Yeah.
Does Cold Stone calling you Honey offend you, Jamie?
I did.
No.
No?
Me and Jamie go back
Cold
far.
Stone's fine. I call him creepy, so if he calls me honey, it just fits.
Oh, fair enough.
Yes, it's what I do. She calls me creepy just to try to keep some of the people away from me, but it still doesn't work. Could wear sweatpants and a ripped shirt. Just hard. Well, maybe this will rush Carlos's wedding. Carlos will be spending the winnings on his wedding. It's written down right here.
Oh, congrats to him. He is engaged. Awesome. Weddings are expensive. So I'm told. I don't know. Cold Stone, how many times have you got married?
I only got married once, and I'm just reading Matt's bio over here without going into my marriage issues.
Fair enough. We'll move on. Jamie, how many
Okay.
times have you been married?
0 times.
0
I have a
times.
perfect record.
Me too.
All right.
Matt's favorite poker player, Eric Seidel. His favorite style is the chameleon, adapting to surroundings. Now, I just have to say, Matt did bring this bio upstairs, and he had more time to work on it than others. So by him talking about the chameleon, adapting to surroundings, he did that over 12 hours. His sister Jen taught him how to play 5-card draw at 4 years old. At 19, his college buddy Nick taught him limit holding, and he was almost instantly hooked on that and no limit. Well, thanks to the poker world for that. That's a good guy.
Matt trying to wrap this thing up so he could watch the Ranger game.
Ash is going to look for that diamond, 3 or jack on the turn. And gets the diamond.
Not the one he's looking for.
Not the one that's going to make the hand easy.
He's going to try to. I kind of like the check. I think.
Might check behind, not thinking that there's a draw that could beat him now, too.
I don't see Matt checking behind
No.
here often with top and
Super value hand.
2 pair. Yeah, 2 pair is a strong hand.
Don't twist it up right now.
And you think Ash is going to go
Don't
for it here
twist
out of
it.
position
Don't
with the
twist
flush
it,
draw on the pair?
Asher. Don't,
I think
yeah,
Asher's going to call at least. He's got a pair and a flush draw.
he's definitely at least calling, and he's right now twisting that I'm going to go all in button. He's twisting it. He's trying to rev himself up.
I don't think he's going to go all in.
when they wait
They're
this long to
relatively
do
deep
it, they
right
get
now.
called. I understand.
Just wouldn't make any sense.
How much you raising, my friend? Nothing?
I would definitely call. Just call as well.
Oh, you're a girl.
Bink.
Bink, I think my way of playing the hand might have worked better for Asher than giving him.
Your way.
Oh, a check.
You just bet 5 times pot.
How much is the value bet going to be right now from Matt?
I think Matt's going to bet like 1.8 million.
2.25.
And is Asher just going to call?
Ash will be putting in a raise. You heard it here
But I'm
first.
guessing 1.8 million to 4.5 million. The bet and the raise.
Well, there's your 175. Ash is contemplating how much to raise.
I'm making it 4.5.
Pot's probably about 4 million. I say he raises it to 6 million.
That's a lot of millions.
Even one's a lot, hon. Ash is putting everything in his head right now. He's not just sitting there, he's thinking. He's putting the math together and figuring out how much he could get paid. He's definitely not going to lose value in that raise. That's a lot of chips, Jamie. I think I was right.
I said 4.5, right?
I said 6.
All right, I think we're gonna.
I think it's
you're gonna
6.
win.
It's 6.
Take the under on 6.
I'll take 6 on the nose.
6 on the nose.
6 1/4 or 6.
I think this might be a little. This might be a little too much.
I'm sorry. This is what I said he was going to do.
Yeah, I just don't think Matt pays.
It's back door. He has to call. Back doors don't happen.
I would bet that Matt folds here.
Yeah.
Well, you've been wrong on the sizing of the bet.
7 million.
I also think he would have
Ugh.
folded to 4.7.
Well, so far I've been right on 3 counts, and I think Matt thinks, Asher thinks that Matt thinks, and he's going to call. Looking for a live tell.
I
There's
think
just a
Matt
lot of-
knows that Ash isn't check raise bluffing this river often enough.
Asher might have 10-3.
You don't even have a great 2-pair. It's the problem. Like certain hands that aren't even like backdoor
Guys,
flushes that got there.
guys, just listen to the old man when he tells you what's happening.
I will listen to the old man. I will not necessarily agree with the old man.
It's either he puts it in or doesn't.
Stout knows.
You are right about that.
Stout knows if he puts it in, it's a bad call. You could see it on his face right now. He
It's
doesn't want to do
going
it.
in.
Wow.
Ugh.
Guys, don't pat me on the back.
Wow.
Don't tell me I'm great. Just tell me I'm right.
I did not think that Stout would make that call.
I
I don't think Asher's
see, now,
bluffing frequency is high enough there at all.
It's non-existent.
wouldn't
It's
be
non-existent in
bluffing
that
right
spot.
there.
It's a nit. A good nit, but a nit.
Yeah.
I think based on Ash coming into the booth earlier and how giddy he was, I think that led Cold Stone to realizing that Matt Stout would make that river call.
Oh, I didn't
His-
even think
his-
about that
yeah,
live read. Good
yeah.
read.
That-
He just
that
peeked
for
his
sure.
head in and said he had a fee.
But he was smiling from
Yeah, he was happy.
ear to ear.
He wasn't like, I just
Like
missed
he
a
just
whole
got
lot of
in a
value.
big-
The only mistake he made in my eye was not bloating the turn, but I'm just aggressive.
Floating the turn would not be good. You can get blown off your hand. You have such a hand with so much potential.
He got the diamond. He ain't folding. It would have worked.
He just Cold Stone. I feel like you're broadcasting so that you can profit in the future on what you're saying because you're the nittiest ever. He's like,
Shh,
Cold
I'm
Stone's
crazy.
like, Cold Stone's like, I'm gonna put in 60 big blinds all the time. If you
All
put
the
in 2
time.
big blinds, I put in 60 big blinds. Just letting you guys know. Meanwhile, he's like, I only have aces. I don't have a set yet. I don't really want to put too many chips in the pot.
Don't give me away, Jamie. I'm starting to believe my own talk, and you're ruining it for me. Very well played. I like the bet sizing a lot by Asher, and
I thought it was an ambitious bet size, but it worked. I mean, they're sitting there and they're aware of the game flow, and
your bet
I mean-
size leads to somebody thinking about the strength of your hand, too.
the reason I wouldn't have made such a big bet size is because they're both good players on a high level of poker. A heart draw missed, like making it look super extra bluffy to Matt, I think actually made it look stronger. Like it just doesn't. He's never going to make it a kabillion chips with a missed flush draw
Are they a
without having
Are they a
it.
kabillion deep right
They
now?
are 1 kabillion deep, yeah.
wow.
Well, now Asher has 2 kabillion.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
just Googled kabillion, guys, and it is not a word.
Thanks.
Is it a number?
It is. Well, Matt hit the ace against Asher earlier, and Asher hits a big diamond and really takes a lot of chips on that hand. Hey, Asher.
No, we're on.
I just said what your bet size would be and that he'd call, and they disagreed.
I did not think Matt was going to look you up there.
How was your pee earlier?
Asher from the future just entered the booth.
With Nancy next to him, he did a little side dance. Or was that a skip? Right now, Matt's saying, why did I make that call? If there wasn't a deal, I would have thought the hand through differently.
That may very well be true.
Well, thank you, young man.
Not that young.
Arg.
Sorry, Alex.
Still younger than you.
Yeah, I
much.
know. Probably going to be that way for a while.
We'll see.
I remember when my older brother used to beat me up when I was little, I told him, when I'm bigger than you and older than you, I'm going to beat you up. I was like 5, and I was like 1 day. I didn't really understand how time worked.
But you've understood that you understand that now, right?
Yes.
Good.
Learned a lot.
Well,
So what
Asher's
is-
sitting there with 30 million right now. The Matt's 10 million, and Carlos' stack's not up there, but I'd have to say it's in the 14 million range.
What is the action on Borgata Poker tonight, Jamie?
There's a whole lot going on tonight. There's a 25K guarantee that Late Reg is open for right now. $50 rebuy. Should be 10K or probably like 8 or 10K for first. I think you can still late reg for the 3 o'clock one. It's probably just closing now. Another 20 or 25K guarantee.
What time
and
did the
there's a 7 o'clock one starting as well. So in an hour and 45 minutes.
What time is the one still open for the late reg one that's 25K? The
And
200?
It
Martin
just started
in the
15
audience,
minutes
too.
ago.
Oh, great.
So we got probably another hour and a half. Look at that
Look
rail.
at the audience. We got a little Nancy Martin, little Patty Haggerty in the back, little
and-
Damiano.
Where's Haggerty? I didn't even see her.
She's all the way in the right-hand corner there.
Awesome.
Oh, there's Damiano.
Carlos has like the nicest friend rail. Like he's all friends with good people.
Yes.
And Cold Stone. Good
Well,
people. and
those are my friends, too.
yeah, somehow.
Jamie,
She's always with the needles, dude.
she's trying
always.
to needle.
She
You
does
know,
it.
you know when
She did it
somebody...
to me last time.
Trying to
doing
make
it
a more
again little
interesting
bit,
stream
yeah.
if there's fighting.
You do
It's gonna be awesome.
understand that when somebody has a crush on you, they usually needle you. Hey, Ross, my son wants a shout out. I'm glad you're listening too. My son Ross is going to West Virginia University next year, and he's there right now. partying.
WVU, huh?
WVU, and
gonna have a lot of fun.
hopefully he's not drinking as much Coronas as the rest of the table had been. Love you, son. Ross has met all 3 of these players too in Florida.
Yeah, I met
What's up,
you.
Asher? You too.
I met your son. Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a good poker player, just a little young, and going to get the education and the job and play poker for a hobby, hopefully.
Good poker player.
Yes.
Learned from his father.
He actually learned from when I played online and kind of picked up the aggressive side too much, but he's adapted well, and he's doing pretty good. I can't exactly tell you where he's sneaking into play right now, but he does well. Birthday will be coming up after the World Series, and I'm sure he's going to want to go to Florida and try to start off with a strong start. Asian J in Dix Hills wants a shout. Nobody likes you. Why should I shout out to you? Just kidding.
Oh. It's the most aggressive.
Jamie's got me cynical.
It's awesome. I said you just like poke him a little bit, and now he's.
Now
Now
I'm
he's
going
riled
after
up.
everyone.
Yeah,
Who
he's ready
wants
to
a
fight.
piece? Who wants a piece of the Cold Stone? Might as well shout out to my daughter Samantha, who's point guard in basketball, moving up in badminton, and the goalie in soccer in high school. My little star athlete.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Thank you.
I want to give a shout out actually to my girlfriend from the 3rd grade. It's her birthday today. I don't know if she's watching. I haven't spoken to her in a long time, but happy birthday.
Also, I feel like it might be a little to have a third-grade girlfriend. I feel like you don't want to talk about that on the live stream.
Why? I was also in the 3rd grade.
Oh, okay.
I should probably clarify that. Yeah, I was.
I can't believe you actually answered me without getting what I was getting at.
I was in the 3rd grade with a 3rd grade girlfriend.
Big hand,
okay,
guys,
that's
big
fine
hand
then.
brewing right now. We got 7s against ace king.
You say grewing?
I did. I misspoke, and you let the world know. It's supposed to be brewing, not grewing. With a B.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Jay and Dix Hills watching the action.
At It's Not Butter is eating yellow curry rice while watching Stephen Curry NBA playoffs and watching a Borgata poker live stream with a Bud Light. Enjoy, sir.
We have a billion.
I know a lot of information about that man now.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry now.
We have a $1 million bet on the turn called. We're on the river now with Carlos holding the best hand and Asher with the chip lead. And that's about it. He's given up. And Carlos will scoop the pot. Carlos will move up to about 18 million on this. All three are at the exact same spot. Basically, nothing has changed.
Three-handed, that could have gotten really out of control. A decent pair versus ace-king, but they both elected to play a pretty small pot.
They're both very smart. They're going to really try to have a big edge before they put it in. They have a lot of bigs.
And with Asher having about 30 million, Carlos having 19 now, and Matt Stout shorter with like 10 million, they can outlast hit Matt Stout without trying to have a huge confrontation between each other and try to get to heads up.
Well, that's how big stacks play with each other in these tournaments for you guys out there. Jamie bringing up a great point that a lot of times when there's a big move from 3rd to 2nd, the two big guys will kind of try to stay out of their ways, except for some of the more aggressive players that just go for it. Matt looking down at the suited 9-2. It looks like it was a misdeal. Nope. Asher opened 8s.
What are the odds either of you has a Samsung charger?
0.
0. You look like an Android person, too.
I just switched over to from iPhone to Android. I did my research, and they said this was the best phone on the market, so I got it.
They?
Yeah, they.
The royal day.
Yes.
They did.
They.
Well,
they're smart. They know more about phones than you do, I promise.
Apple.com, one of our best companies. If you guys want to reach out to me, that's apple.com. You can find me. I love the iPhone.
Just trying to get sponsors.
Hello, Tab.
Dr. Tab.
Dr. Tab is peeking and making sure we're doing okay.
Do you want us to talk about that? You want me to rub it in on the live stream? That teasing. Tab stopping by to say hello.
We have an overlay in.
Oh,
just kidding.
Gold stove.
Oh, come on. I don't have a patch deal.
Amen. Nope.
By the way, my chest has no patch on it. If anybody wants the patch on it, Coca-Cola, anybody?
Wow, so I opened up the Twitch stream to see if they had any questions for us. And they have a very, very important question, which is all three of us, would we rather fight a horse-sized duck or 20 duck-sized horses?
Wow.
Say that one more time.
Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 20 duck-sized horses?
That's a very good question, and I'm not going to just answer that without thinking it through.
I would never fight tiny horses because they'd be
yeah.
so cute. I would just be like petting them.
As they bit you.
I'm going to go duck. I'm going to go one horse-sized duck.
Wow, that's terrifying.
Off the top of my head, just that's where I'm going.
I'd be more comfortable fighting that than fighting adorable little horses.
Yeah.
I would be trying to find things to ride on the tiny horses. Like, let's put this bug on the horse. See what happens.
How tiny?
He said duck size. So, like, I don't know, that big.
Oh,
Put like a hamster on it.
Here come all the animal rights people. I did not make a comment. I would not hit either animal, so I will not. Oh, this is a pretty good flop for Asher.
Asher's running okay today.
Carlos hitting top pair is going to have a lot of problems with this hand.
Carlos is going to get stacked this hand.
Carlos also has a 10 high flush draw. I cannot see Carlos avoiding a big problem in this hand. It's going to come down to how much Asher bets.
I'm making it $2.5 million on this flop, and I'm just trying to build a massive pot. You got to put chips in now while a person still has their draws.
Well, some people want to keep them around also. But I agree. You're going to have to stop building it
he
somehow.
just called. I really like building a pot here. Obviously, we see their cards, and you know that Carlos wouldn't have gone anywhere.
That's the main reason why Asher didn't raise. If he saw Carlos's cards, he would have definitely raised.
Yeah, but you have to think, like, how can I get a lot of chips in this pot? And you get it in when the person has an ace of spades, king of spades, or has a pair and some kind of draw. And it becomes harder as the board runs out with a lot of scare cards coming and with just their draws not improving. You can get a bunch of chips in on the flop, and then on the turn it becomes less attractive.
Snap call. Now, Carlos's snap call gives a lot of an indication to Asher that he's, like, really in love with the board and the flop.
I'd probably like 80% pot the river with a call like that.
Yes, that's not the best way to call. I mean, you're trying to slow the person down, and they know you are, but they're sitting there with the second nuts. They don't want to slow down.
This is a spot he can just bet like $3.5 million.
That's about right. He's going to bet probably somewhere around $2 million.
No,
Oh
way
no,
bigger.
no, on the river. Now it was $2 million on the turn. 6.6 million. He's probably going to come in for 3/4, full $4 million. Maybe $4,100,000.
Yeah, I don't think Carlos is ever full. Like that call just looked like he's never folding his hand ever, and I would put a huge bet in right now.
There's the 4. Moving it up to 4.8. At least we're all agreeing on bet sizing. I can't see Carlos folding right here. I mean, he does lose to ace-king, ace-queen, king-queen. He really liked his 10 high flush draw, I'm sure, going into this. And now he's just sitting there with a queen with not much of a kicker. If Asher did call him on the flop without a queen, he has 3 sevens. It's not a great spot. But once again, I think he's going to have to call as he's
Because Ash could have called with a big spade in his hand. And
obviously, as the bile's going into the top of his throat right now, he's going to put the chips forward, and he's going to say, damn. Then he's going to show what he had.
If he calls river, I'm not sure he'll show.
River.
I don't think he'll show his hand.
He's calling?
If he, okay, but you
and
said
he's and he's going to show at least the queen.
Well, it's a little different.
It's a little different.
I'm almost willing to bet. Want to make a friendly wager?
You have to give me odds.
$20 and he doesn't table any cards.
There's the call.
Better no bet.
And here comes the queen. Here okay. He wanted to.
I'll take the 20, please. Thank you.
And I really think that Carlos ended up paying an extra like $1.5 million just because of the way he called.
Yeah, the snap
earlier.
call would have gotten him a check if the guy didn't have a super premium hand.
Yeah, I think that if he just tanked a little while and actually thought about the value of his hand and raising and whatever, and then called, I don't think Asher would have been so sure that he's getting snapped no matter what.
I agree. It's great when younger players see these live tells. A lot of people don't pick up on these
Live
things.
tells are real, and I like get picked
real.
on sometimes because I was almost exclusively an online player for a couple of years. But I've played a lot of live tournaments in the last few years after Black Friday, and live reads are a real thing. You're staring at someone's face right in front of you.
It's more than a real thing. It's a huge way to get information, especially clusters of reads. And with your psychology background, you can even understand more about the human emotions. Definitely an asset to you, and good to see that you've picked up that like a lot of online players might not have.
I think online players kind of laugh at it because they're so math-oriented, which I understand. Like, there are times someone will tell me a hand history, and they'll be talking about, like, making an absurd fold mathematically where you're like, oh, you just gave the guy aces? You're like, he must have aces because he hasn't raised and he 3-bet me this hand. I'm like, okay, he could be card dead for an hour. You've played 15 hands. So sometimes online players are right that like the live reads shouldn't really overpower the math, but you have to definitely use it to supplement.
Sure, you don't want to overpower anything. You want to use all of your different, all the different sources of your knowledge equally. So there's math and there's tells, but tells can really tell a lot. And in that situation, we all kind of saw that Carlos was trying to prove he's calling fast, but Asher just had such a hand that he knew he'd get paid more on. Fortunately, Carlos is getting low on chips, and Ash is building chips right now for Carlos.
It would have been an interesting thing if Carlos intentionally snap called so that he can make an easier fold on the river if Asher still wanted to put in a huge bet.
Right, that would have been...
Just be very aware of the fact that you look like, I'm calling you no matter what, and then you can actually make a pretty good fold.
That's another level. It's a pretty good flop for Carlos to get his last... well, he's still got 30 bigs, so...
Yeah, we're pretty deep. We burned through those 3 players so fast that the chips got redistributed, and they're all able to play multi-streets. It's not like
did he raise and then get 3-bet and call the 3-bet?
Yes, he did. He flatted the 3-bet looking for this flop. Maybe not paired, but this flop.
He found it.
He found it. A lot of the problems with this game is you find 4/5 of what you need, and Asher still has an overpair and a commanding chip lead. And I think it might be time for Asher to try to shut down this hand right now with an all-in bet.
I don't think Carlos will fold.
I do not think Carlos can fold at the moment. He's got the 5 of diamonds available and everything else. He throws down.
Asher asked him if he had a 3.
Are they both all in here?
Yeah, all in and a call.
Okay.
And good luck. Off to the races here. Good luck, gentlemen. Asher now a 75% favorite to be heads up.
And he gets there.
And with that, Asher will be heads
Asher.
up against Matt Stout.
That was a great run, Carlos. I know you smoothed a little frustrated about how you just lost the big hand in flop Yahtzee. You played a great tournament to win back-to-back, because that's what you did. All 3 of you won this. So you won back-to-back. Pretty crazy.
Amazing run, Carlos. Very good game.
More close-ups of happy people's faces. That's what I want to see. I like watching people win in a tournament.
How honest are you being right now?
Seriously.
Wow. I like it.
No, it does make me happy. Like the people who are jaded because, oh, it's, you know, it's not $1 million or something like that. Like I like watching pros that can still